Hello, and welcome to my presentation on corruption within the Pakistan government by Tyler Edwards. First, I would like to talk about the history of the Pakistan electoral system. In order to understand what the future holds for Pakistan, it is important to look to the past. As Winston Churchill said, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. From the very beginning, elections within Pakistan have been surrounded by corruption within the government. Through turmoil and power grabs, the government is far from the democratic republic that we enjoy in the United States. The new country of Pakistan's government in 1947 was formed with Muhammad Ali Jinnah as the general governor representing the western state of Pakistan. Political control of the country, even from the beginning, was rife with corruption. The western states held the elite of the country, the upper-class landlords, and held control of the government. This was a point that upset the eastern side of the country, as the majority of the population lived in the east. They felt that they were misrepresented, as a few were governing the many. This reason was partially to blame for the overthrow and military takeovers that ensued over the next 23 years. In 1952, the first indirect elections were held, electing Prime Minister Muhammad Ali. An indirect election is widely used throughout the world. Even in the United States, we use an indirect method. We elect the Electoral College, who in turn elects the president. However, the indirect elections of 1952 were believed to be corrupted through bribery of the electors. Subsequently, in 1954, through the leadership of Prime Minister Muhammad Ali, a new policy was announced that would help spread the political power a little more evenly throughout the country. This was done in an effort to dispel the political suppression that was taking place. His political career was short-lived as several military coups ensued, one backed by the U.S. government in 1958. Proper elections were not held again until 1962, with the following election of 1970 being the first election held since rioting and movements caused the resignation of several elected officials. Next, let's look at the corruption within the modern era. From 1970 to 2013, corruption was commonplace within all levels of the government. With an economy suffering, the government designated a task force to inject work into the country and help boost the economy. The private sector of Pakistan jumped at the opportunity, and the bribery ensued. It is estimated that losses of more than $200 million were due to corrupted transfer of funds from the public sphere to the private sector. This, however, would only be the start of corruption within the economic side of the Pakistan government. The new battlefield against corruption. Lately, corruption has been spotted in the public works sector of the government. In most of the first world countries, utility construction is primarily based on a bid estimate. The way this works is as follows. Engineering firms are selected in order once approved, so all approved engineering firms get work equally. A project is put out into the public for companies to bid based on drawings put together by the engineering firms. Whoever is lowest wins the bid and the work. This, however, is not how work is being awarded in Pakistan. Work is being awarded on a CMAR basis, which is highly susceptible to corruption. CMARs are awarded based on presentations and what your company has to offer rather than price. This can add millions onto the cost of the project for no reason other than further profit to the companies and can be swayed by opinion. This has created a number of reservoirs and water treatment plants that are funded but go unbuilt or poorly built for inflated prices. It is estimated by NAB, the National Accountability Bureau, that the cost of public projects is 20% more due to corruption of the system. The public utility companies are also responsible for falsified billing statements and inflated prices. According to studies, more than 96% of people believe that their utility company is corrupt, and more than 30% reported that they were harassed into paying bribes. This has prompted the firing and trial of many local politicians that oversee these utilities. However, many more go untried. The future of fighting corruption within Pakistan. Due to the activism within the country, the government is starting to become less corrupt and more transparent. This, however, has forced the corruption even deeper into the areas that are deeply veiled in secrecy. I believe that the newest form of corruption will take place within the utility system of Pakistan in the future. Within the last 5 years, we have started seeing this take place, but on a smaller scale. The NAB has started firing those who are corrupted within their ranks. I believe that they will be in position to take the fight against corruption to these companies. The backdoor deals will be fought in all phases of the work, I am assuming, between the engineering firms, the construction companies, the utility companies, and the government agents that oversee these projects. How can we as Americans help? This, I think, is the most important question. We can continue to support the free election process of Pakistan. People are already to see the corruption driven from their country and will use their power to vote in order to do so. It has been stated that Pakistan could model their electoral process after the United States as far as the way that individuals vote and the system that we use. This would require the help and aid of the United States and other first world countries in creating the electronic devices for their elections and ensuring against electoral fraud. If the United States can help keep the electoral process honest, I believe that we will see a big difference within the next 10 years as the Pakistani people themselves will weed out the corruption within their own system. Here are my works cited. Please take a look at a couple of these different articles and books that I read and look into them. Thank you for listening to my presentation on the corruption within the Pakistan government.